turn that on. I changed that. Tweeted. I hit the button. Did I hit the button? I hit the button. And we're not live yet. Yes, we are. Hello. Hi. Okay, we're live. Sweet. I still don't know how Twitch works. It has been... let me think. What happened this week? It's been a kind of slow week. I've been working constantly every day, and I feel like I'm not getting nearly enough done. Just because we're in that kind of... Mostly it was Easter, I think. Like, I've only had 2 people this week. 1 person full-time for 5 days, 1 person for 3 days. So, like, as far as the game goes, not as much has gotten done. But I'll show you what we did do. We did finish up some of these art pieces. I actually have to do a pass in this now. I did a quick pass, but I need to do another one. We got in for the main view of the game. They got in most of the artwork there. At the beginning of the week, I was working on a series. This is hard to explain. The way that characters attach to moving props needed to change. So I did a bunch of work with that. Specifically, you'll probably see shooting stars. I'll get to those. Let's see. So, the major goal was getting this scene to work out, where just something stubbed in here for when you unlock this. This also needs a lot of work. But you'll see when you go here, they actually animate moving up and then down, and that was just something I couldn't do before. I changed the unlock screens. This is actually wrong. When you unlock a stage, it's supposed to show higher. Make sure you guys can actually see this. Yeah. When you unlock a stage, it's supposed to show higher. And everything else should show lower. I did change how this looks. I'm trying to differentiate between when you lock a stage versus anything else. So you can kind of see, like, I've unlocked something up here versus through here. It's difficult to message when things are unlocked. I have the idea... I stubbed this in for the UI, the idea that, like, when you've completed all the sections in an area, you get a little check mark. That's what you're seeing there. I forgot I even did that. There's just been a lot of stuff like that, just stuff to make the game good. The biggest thing I did this week was the last, like, I think the end of the day, Wednesday through pretty much all of Friday, was getting in the scroll stage and stubbing in everything for that, which is like, here, let me just reset things so you can see it. So, like, I changed how the scroll stage unlocks because it was kind of confusing before. I am using the newer unlock system. Now, in order to unlock the scroll stage, you have to hit the feather and the ink thing. So you only unlock it after Quats hit this. And there's a little scene there. And after Rue has done her first level. So now you've unlocked, like... Oh, I changed this level for reasons. I had a friend play through and he had some feedback about this level. And there you see that unlocked. And a lot of the work has been, like, getting this asset, going back and forth to my artist to get it to do what I wanted it to do, rigging it, animating it, so that, like, it comes out and does these sorts of things. So it sits in the world. Oh yeah, setting up the UI for all this. This is all stuff I've been working on. What does the UI for these different areas look like? I would show you what I did with the calendar, but I think I broke it all at this point. Oh god, don't crash. I also introduced a crash yesterday. It's been a long week. Let me open that up again. Yeah, just a lot of stuff with that. I introduced a UI for the calendar where... Let me see if I can find videos of it while that's loading. Because I'm pretty sure I took several when I was talking to the artists. Do I still have them? Yeah, this one's a little bit laggy, but it shows what it was. So I got this asset from my artist, and I added the idea that you can, like, as you scroll over, the level you've selected is circled. As you beat them, you get little X's. This is my first pass on this. There's other videos here. Oh yeah, my one artist did a pass. Just a lot of feedback back and forth on this area. to get the, what do you call it, the sliding levels in. So yeah, it's been a very busy week for me. Hey Tom, what's up, man? And today I'm in the middle of some feedback for my artist. Like, he got the calendar in, I like it, I want to change it to fit, kind of be more similar to the scroll where you unlock it, it's animated, it pops open, like all the levels pop out of it and so forth. And I introduced a crash yesterday. Yesterday I wanted to have some fun because I was really tired. So I worked on, like I added some shooting stars and I did some experiments with camera animation that I might pull because they're kind of making me really nauseous. I just don't have the heart to kill it yet because I literally spent all of yesterday getting in this kind of camera sway. The idea being maybe the world you'd be able to understand the 3D-ness of the world a little bit more if there was just a little bit of movement with the camera. Something a friend recommended that I try. And I tried it, and I can solidly say it makes me pretty fucking nauseous. But I might just need to experiment with it a bit more. I don't know yet. Hey, do I sound okay, Tom? Listen to this. Do I sound okay, Tom? Yeah, that sounds normal. Listen to Alright. Same as ever? That bad, huh? They said last time I should put a cloth under the microphone. And then I promptly forgot to get a cloth. I might just have to listen to I'm gonna try this. The random shit on my desk. Alright, we'll see if that works. I go into Boston Fig. Hey, Popcorn Cans, what's up, man? No, I'm not taking it to Fig. I think that I looked at the timing and it just like didn't work. There's just no way. I don't remember what was conflicting with it, but I remember thinking like, God, it's gonna be lame, but I have to say no to that. So yesterday I spent 5 minutes making shooting stars and the rest of the day making the camera sway, and I think the shooting stars stay and the camera sway goes away. The shooting stars are literally a strip of polygons with one texture, with scrolling UVs. The camera sway, I added this and I had to fucking, I broke the entire game. There's still a crash. I wanted to add camera sway everywhere because suppose my friend was like, this will make your game look expensive and good. Like, it's happening right now. You see how the world's kind of moving? But the real goal was to have it here. So see how it's like swaying right now? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It's a very subtle motion. And it definitely does make the world feel more 3D. Also definitely makes me feel really ill. It didn't at first. I get sick for like no reason though. I'm really on the fence about this. We're gonna try one more thing with that, and then I might have to kill it. And then we're gonna get into the thing that I need to do today, which is finishing up the calendar for my artist, who's gonna roll back on again tomorrow. I started thinking about what I want the calendar to actually do. Anyway, I've started rigging that this morning. Yeah, it feels like you're on a boat. Oh. Maybe it felt more like breathing. Let's open up a second Maya. I'm just not willing to let it go yet. Like, I really do think it's a good idea. If it didn't make me hella sick. Just finished spinning Garden to BFig in Boston Playcrafting. Cool, dude. I'm on a different, like... I didn't submit to BFig. I am debating submitting to Gamescom because everyone told me I should. And the deadline's tomorrow for the like indie area in Gamescom. So I have to make up my mind tonight and submit if I want to submit pretty much in like tomorrow morning. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty close to my launch. It'd be pretty stressful. I did want to do everyone says I should do something in Europe to hit the European press, but I don't have the experience of just getting press because you go to a show. Maybe other people do. I get press if I go with like Microsoft, because they'll make sure there's press. But if I just take a game to a show, I don't know how you just get press. I'm big time now, I'm doing the real circuit. Yeah, I'm debating even doing that though, Tom, is the thing. Like, how much does it matter? To go to Gamescom. People seem to feel like it matters a lot. I don't know. It's really out of the way. It's a lot of money. Theoretically, you should do something to get the European press. If it was like a different time of year, I would totally go to the... What's the one that's tied to the BAFTAs in London? That one, like, loads of press go to the EGX. And I guess that makes sense, because... But, like, Gamescom, I don't understand how I would stand out. Like, there's just so many people. Fair enough. I mean, you say going to Europe like it's a hard thing, but we're in Boston. Going to Europe is just as hard as, like, it's, the flight to Seattle is just as long as the flight to London. Germany is further, obviously. Is that true? I feel like that's true. I feel like you can direct flight from Boston to London in like 5 hours. Maybe it's more like San Francisco to London. But I don't know, man, like, I am really on the fence about this. If you guys have opinions on whether or not I should go to Gamescom, I'd like to hear it. Because it's a long ways to go if it's just for consumers. It'd be worth it if I got some articles or some guaranteed press coverage, but I don't think that's like a realistic expectation. And it's right near my launch, and it's a week before PAX Prime. And if I want to do PAX Prime right, like, there's a lot of getting ready that you should do if you're going to do PAX Prime. And if I did PAX Prime, I would do it with Indie Mega Booth, which I feel like would be... When is that? There's a deadline for that too, right? Yeah, that's also Thursday this week. Fuck, I have to make a call. Oh, fuck. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to blow up Boston as a scene. Though I'm not necessary. If in reality, that's the other thing. The people I know in Boston who are like killing it don't go to any of the fucking shows, right? Like, the Proletariat is crushing it with their like first person mage or third person mage game. Fucking Factory Town is crushing it right now. I don't think Eric did any kind of advertising whatsoever. He just has like one of those games that hits well on Steam. Yeah, going right from Gamescom to PAX West would be brutal. I mean, I would do it if it was worth it. It's more that I feel like if I go to PAX West, I also have to line up some merch. Whereas I don't think I would do that for Gamescom. But I feel like for PAX, you gotta go hard with the merch, right? I don't think you do that for Gamescom, do you? Dude, Gamescom is such a fucking nightmare. I'm legitimately afraid of it. I'm kind of looking for a reason not to go. What's your question, Tom? Do I have a press kit for Kine and what is in it? Yes, kind of. I have on the Google Drive, I have like a series of screenshots, which I had to make those anyways for the storefronts. And I always had those going. And I also have like the logo for Kine, because somebody asked for that at one point, so I made sure that I had that in vector, like the vector logo for Kine, so people could have that. And then basically anytime anybody in the press asks for something, I just throw it up on the G Drive for everybody. So I think there's also just B-roll footage of the game with no audio. I'm sorry, with sound effects but no music, because that's something people ask for a lot. And Epic asked for that at one point. Basically, as soon as I just wait till somebody asks for something and then I just make it for everybody. It's not the most, I don't know, well thought out plan, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, where was... Okay, what are we gonna try with the player here? I don't want to feel sick all the time. Sorry, I don't remember where I put this. Environment. Where the hell did I put this? Yeah, that doesn't go there. Well, you know... Also heard once there was a lot of people smoking at Gamescom, which would be the pits. Yeah, I mean, people in general smoke more overseas. It's less... I mean, in Boston they smoke more than, like, California. People are mean about it in California. Alright, so this is... I think I started to feel nauseous as soon as I added rotate. But I needed to add... There's a reason I did that, though. What you doing here, buddy? Let's try this. Let's remove all rotation. Because I don't think it's a good idea. And let's go with, actually, I may not even need to do this part, but we will. Player. I'm not letting this go. I should just cut it. Do you have any idea how much crap I have to do? It's the weekend. We're gonna not freak out about this. Alright. I feel like it could be cool if I pull it off. I didn't put it here, did I? Where's camera drift? Yeah, I did put it there. God, I'm an idiot. .5 weeks to content lock. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway. I don't mind this drift here in the main menu. That does not make me nauseous. Do mind this drift here. I think, so I re-imported this. The problem is I need a rotation because now it just looks really unintentional. Like I like the effect, but it just looks so unintentional. There's a couple ways we can get around that. If we dynamic camera. I don't know where you are. So theoretically, if I take the location of the actual camera rather than the attachment, this is moving it back towards something I had earlier. So the camera's moving, attached to a thing that's moving around, which is attached to another thing that's orienting to aim at the player. This is where I'm setting the rotation. I'm finding the lookout rotation from the game camera to the player pawn. And I'm orienting you this way, and I think find the lookout rotation. this made me queasy as well, but I think the most important thing is to keep the Z and maybe keep the Y and never ever have any fucking tilt. I think that's the clutch problem. I think there just has to be none of that. Let's find out if that's even the problem though. Let's print this. Oh wait, are you running every tick? Let's print this every tick. Okay, something X and Y. Oh, pitch yaw. Fucking what does this mean for pitch yaw roll, I guess? See, this doesn't make me as nauseous. This is just fine. I think it's because the character doesn't move, so I don't feel like... I have to play for a while to make sure. I did get nauseous with this eventually, but it was in a level... It was in a more top-down level, I think. Did this make me feel sick? In all seriousness, no. Why not? I mean, it can't be that simple. There's the ultimate test. The level thing that I'm working on now. God, it's weird. It gives me vertigo. Like... But this is so much better than it was. I don't know why. Like, I'm weirdly more... I'm extremely aware of how high up I am now. But I don't feel ill. Yeah. I think I'll make this change. I'll check this in and then we'll get Mitchell to play it because he gets sick too. Can you make the camera wobble to the beat of the background music? Maybe, that's pretty high tempo though. I don't know if that's a good idea. It adds something. The world feels more 3D. I have a better sense of the feeling of the world. There is definitely something where you can't move and then rotate it. Like, it definitely works a lot better if you keep the character static in the middle of the screen. Which makes me wonder, like, how would that look? Like... Man, it feels so much more extreme here. Because you're further away, is that why? Does it need to be faster? At a minimum, we're using this for the boat levels, just to add like some seaness, some being in the high seas situation. I don't know. I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those things I tune forever and then end up cutting. There's a lot of things like that. We don't have a lot of time. I need to focus on other shit. You decide to do it to the beat, your brain can anticipate when it's about to move. Maybe. Possibly. I mean, it's not high tempo. It's one of those things I will noodle forever, given the option. And my artists are rolling back into the project tomorrow, so we need to get this calendar to a state where I can tell them what I want, because what we have is that video I showed you before. This is... my artist gave me like this model, and I set up the materials to do this sort of thing, right? But I also, and that's the other thing, I also want, like, the calendar is a very specific thing. There's a level that plays out on top of it. There's another level that's next to it, so you have to be able to push off the side. And then I want to have it pop up for when you actually do the calendar levels. Pop up and then open. So, like, let's rig it so I can actually show you this. This is what I was doing before I took a shower. Alright, so this is skinned already? Yeah, alright. Control shape. How do I want to do this? Up so I can see you guys. That's right. Okay. So basically I spent this morning modeling out the rest of this, because what they had before was just a board. And I'm kind of like cutting it into different parts. I'm adding a piece here, tweaking their model basically. You need to be under here. I want you to pop up. Pop open. These are the basics of what it's going to be. Took a bit of thinking for how I wanted this to work. And it's still not perfect. Like, it's just going to magic into the ground there. I'm not going to explain what this gray bar is. We're just going to let that go. Whereas, you should see what I did for the other one. Hold on, I'll show you. The other one was a bit of back and forth with my artist. Save this. Yeah, I spent way too long on this other one. Because I was playing around with like morph targets and shit. It was a good time though. I need to stop having fun. So this one has like an actual like springboard underneath. And I spend all this time doing this, and at the end of the day, you don't even see it because you look at it from a top-down view, so none of it fucking matters. You see like that springboard, you see that metal bit for a second maybe under certain views. I also added all this stuff to make these papers fan out more, and there's like blend shapes and shit, no reason. In the end I ended up just curling them, they just kind of movie magic together. How often do I disagree with the artist? I mean, it's not really a disagreement. It's a collaboration where I pay them, so it's also like, kinda, there is no disagreement. I'm the client, you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes that sounded really bitchy. How do I put it? For one thing, I'm tasking them, and I'm directing the art. And there's definitely times when they'll do things. Art can be really, really good, but not necessarily fit the look. Do you understand? Like, it's one thing to make something look good. It's a difficult thing to have 5 artists all make it look like they're making the same thing, or to make. The reality is, games need multiple artists to achieve the same look at the same time. When you look at a game, it has to look like one person's voice, even though multiple people are working on it. And so it's not like a negative thing if you give someone critique, if you say, hey, I need it to be like this or like that. It's not like I'm saying they're bad. It's more like, this is the look of the game. Or a lot of times it's like, this is what I need this to do, because there's very, very specific, everything has to take up very specific areas. And if you cannot overhang, right? Like there loads of times they'll do things that'll overhang, or that'll do something that'll like impinge on another level, and then I've got to just pull it back, you know? And there's things like, I told them I would try, for instance, this is them being playful. He actually modeled this shadow. This is actually part of the mesh. But after I rigged it, I was like, I kind of want to move the feather. So I'm probably going to tell him maybe we should delete this shadow, things like that. There's just always going to be back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like a disagreement. It's more we're all working together. We're all in the same team trying to achieve a look. And I actually like it when they push and they try things, because sometimes they try things that totally work out and are like really cool, right? Because I tell them what I need. I give them a footprint for an area, but they have a lot of creative freedom within what I give them, right? Like I didn't tell them to do this, that's for sure. They were just messing around. There's times when they do things that are thematically inappropriate, and then I have to be like, that doesn't work, but I felt like this looks pretty cool. And they have their own creative voice and stuff. They want to play within things. There's definitely, this whole area I had them reduce a couple times. There's a couple things I've had them redo, or pull around, or do in different ways, especially early on until we kind of nail it. This area in general, the office area, especially back here, they tried a lot of things that didn't work, and I'm still super not keen on a lot of this stuff. Like, this thing where they took this is a plane and you can see where they've like put the facets in the plane. And I swear I've told them a million times, if you have a situation like this, just draw a circle and have one plane with a circle drawn on it. Because that'll just look much smoother. But that's like, now we're getting way nitpicky. And in general, I'm not sure how much I like this as a concept anyway, but you know, like, you can't hate everything. We did a lot of back and forth. This area, there was a lot of stuff overhanging into other levels, and they keep trying to, like, it's painful to cut things. At this point, they've moved a lot of the offending items to places where it's like, they can still feel like they won because it's in, but it's also just kind of like, what the hell is this? No one's gonna see this, it's low enough, it doesn't matter. Or like these things that stick out, there's no way to ever actually see that in game. Really? And it's difficult because we can't have a lot of holes in the world. There's definitely just a lot of back and forth. But they surprise me, they do cool shit. I really like working with other people. It's really, really fun and fulfilling. Especially these guys. They're good. Oh yeah, that's another thing I did. I added a new win condition for the switches. I'm still not sure if I like that. Some of the areas turned out better than others. In general, the whole way that this game is arted is not something I can ever do again, just because it locks down the design entirely. The only reason I could do this was because I completed the design for the game. I cannot change a single puzzle as soon as it's arted up. They art up the levels. Like, this is not something, it's not modular. I can't change the shape of the puzzles anymore. This is not how a game should be made. I know that logically, and we won't do this ever again. In the future, we're gonna have to push towards more things that are constructed modularly, tech art kind of stuff. It's just we didn't have time. And I was pretty confident, well, I should have been, but I was like confident in the shape of the game and stuff by the time they rolled on, so it worked out. Yeah, basically. But I mean, you know, there's definitely like, what the hell is this? I'm not, like, I'm cool with it. I didn't tell him to model that. I don't know what the hell he was thinking when he made that. Oh, that's another thing I did this week. I modeled the clouds around the world, finally, because that was looking pretty shitty. I think that's, I was gonna do way more with it, but I think it's fine. We have content lock in 5 weeks. I can't keep fucking around like this. Anyway. It's all fine. Oh, that's right. They also got in the back of this level. We had some back and forth for this. I want to add some movement to this carton before content lock. The big things left to do are get this, figure out the level select screen for the calendar, the level select screen for the dance area. They need to get in this last chunk of the art. That's the last missing piece for this screen. And then there's loads of polish, and there's all of the levels that you actually play on the scroll and on the calendar, which are not figured out yet. Oh, and obviously on here. The end of the game is looking alright. So lots to do in 5 weeks. I'm working a lot. Okay. Probably shouldn't have lost a day fucking around with the camera. But you know, I have no excuse. So here's what I'm doing here. I hope they don't mind I mess with their models a lot, but this stuff is very important. Now you've got me wondering, pop cans, because it is definitely different when you're hiring outsourcers. And last week was a particularly weird one because usually I always go through Rick and then Rick goes to everybody else. So I've got like a point of contact, which allows them to like There's a thing, it's not so true here because we're all friends, but like especially at larger studios where you've got like the artists are united against like the creative director in a way, and it inoculates because the creative director's got to be like, I changed my mind, throw away all your work for this area, we're doing this now. And that pisses people off, obviously, especially if you've been working really hard. And so like having a step in between is useful, but because of the way this project is, there isn't a lot of that. Partly because we don't have time, and partly because by the time they were all done, like the design was all done and figured out for the most part. I'm talking to procrastinate because I don't know what the next step is. I guess, okay. Exactly. Which is weird. If you're hiring people and you're the client, it's just a very different relationship versus if you are a creative director at a company working together. For some reason, I think it's the fact that when you're a client, it's more of a short-term thing. There's like a non-permanence to this. They know they're only going to be on the project for 4 months going in. I don't know. Definitely does change the dynamic a lot. But let's get this done. All right. So is this all I need for the rig? Probably. Let's... So what I'm doing right now is we have a static mesh. Well, this is what I'm doing literally right now. I did this morning. Before there was a static mesh that I was moving between here, wrong thing, between here and here. Now there's 2 static meshes. I didn't even bother to texture it because I know I'm going to, instead of having 2 static meshes I'm swapping between, I'm going to make it 1 skeletal mesh. I'm going to animate the transition. And that's what we're going to do right now. So, monotony. Calendar rigged. Yeah, new skeleton. Okay, so the calendar's already an object. Just because I need to do a bunch of stuff to it for the materials. So now we're gonna take this. What kind of object? You're a static mesh actor. Well, that's the first thing that's gonna change. Without losing absolutely everything, can I make you a scale mesh actor? Let's find out. Okay, not the end of the world. Don't think this will change at all because this is just messing with materials. And the stage now points at calendar rig. Oops. I'll just do this. Okay. You are in the game, and I'll save you. Alright, shit's broken in the map. I expected that. Let's find every instance of you in the map. So there will be no more setting up the static mesh. That's not a thing. So you're no longer a static mesh. Okay, that's fine. Is that all? No. No. Something else is fucked. Window, oops. Message log. Map check. Can't be your only problem. I mean, I don't want you casting shadows. Oh, that's it. All right, we're cooking. Now, let's set the materials on here. Objects. This is the top of objects. It has to have a different material for reasons. Silver mat. I think that's just the material for the actual calendar, which is very bespoke. Where are you? One side it should just be matte black. Oh, it could just be matte color. Flat color? That doesn't sound right. No, that's not right. Matte color. And then just the material for every day of the month. Which I don't remember where I put that calendar mark material. This is how I'm doing the thing where there's X's over certain days. Every day has a material. I'm just changing it. Okay. Next. So if I play now, it will always be folded. The next thing I need to do is make it open. Yeah, it's hard to say, Popkins. I mean, obviously not as much as I am, but like, that would be difficult. I've spent several years of my life obsessing about this game. So I don't expect anybody to roll in the project and love it as much as I do. Mitchell's pretty jazzed to be in this project, I will say. The musician. Like, it could be good for him. And it's his first game, and so, you know, well, a bigger game. Is this a big game? I don't know. You know, like, it's his first, like, it could... I don't want to be a bitch about it. He's worked on games. So, Not student game. No, that's not correct either. I don't know. Whatever. So, like, getting this up. So we need... What are all the things we need for this? It doesn't really need to dodge out of the way. I think it just needs to open and close, really. Like, I think this is pretty simple. Like, I'm pretty sure... I'm going to make a new animation blueprint for it, just in case. Well, because I have to. Calendar and MVP. I'm going to get some logic in here. I don't think you need to know anything. You're just like, by default, you're closed. Yeah, you open and you close. That's all you've got. Do I even need a fucking state machine? It's like basically an animation playing forward and backwards. Do I need anything else? No. Do I even need an animation blueprint? Maybe. Let's try not. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying that last stream. I've never been this emotionally attached to a game before. I was just saying something. So, like... I mean, I think the right thing to do is delete the animation off this and redo it in a different file. Like, the proper thing to do. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, fuck. Did I save it? I did. Open. Okay. So we're just gonna delete this because that's just not how I structure things. File, save as. You are the rig. No. Yes. Okay. Getting a lot of crashes today, huh? We still have to figure out what was crashing earlier. It's pretty terrifying. Save this. Oh. Sometimes when I show textures, things crash. Not today, though. File, save scene as. Not me, calendar, anims. Okay, so... And the animation I want. So 20 frames. My snapping. Why is my snapping terrible? 300. nothing. I'm just gonna fix something real quick in the rig for my sanity. Let's take and fix my hierarchy. Let's take the mesh. So you don't accidentally click it. Save the rig, go back to our animation. Okay. Alright, so we have an animation to play with. Let's slap that animation on. Let's set to not play. By default, let's go into our level. Okay, so before, when the calendar opened, all I did was swap out a static mesh. Now what I'm going to do is take the calendar stage. Ooh, okay, well, let's not structure this in the stupidest imaginable way. Let's say when you're, let's just give you, I guess, a function that is, oh, can't see I'm typing, open calendar. And when that happens, we will play animation, not looping the animation we just made. Let's have custom event function Close calendar. Same thing, reverse animation. Can I play it backwards? Set play rate. Can I can I do this? Let's find out. I could just make a second animation if this doesn't work. So which I'll want to do anyway. So yeah. And here we call open calendar. And here we call close calendar. This goes away. Hey, what's up, OXLIQ? 1Q. 0XL1Q. Nah, man, we don't make games in this channel. We do performative game dev. For the bits. I've noticed when I go from scroll to calendar, the game crashes. So we're gonna intentionally not do that right now. But yeah, alright, so that... I can't see what's happening. I'm gonna detach, because I haven't set things up properly. And there's no way it worked the first time. So if we go back here... Okay, so close doesn't work at a minimum. Oh, opening works though. Going back out does nothing. Interesting. And also, obviously, the camera's in a just terrible spot for the new... because I changed where the calendar is from where it was before. So one of the things we're going to do is move the calendar is... It's going to be some guess and check here. I think it's just like 400 units lower than it was. Do you have experience with text-based programming? Is Blueprint way preferred? Thanks, Popcans. I don't know what that is. What is the hearts and the pluses? Is this a new thing? Shit. Are those bits? Did you just give me a $1.10? All of Twitch is so weird. I do not do this for the bits, I swear. I've been streaming for... I don't want to think about how long I've been streaming because I'll have to admit how long I've been on Kine. But I've been streaming for like at least well over a year. Shit, how long has it been? I started in September before last, so it's been, yeah, well over a year. I've gotten paid once. I got $50 at one point from the cumulative crap throughout the year. It's an event, bonus bits. Well, I do like the squash and stretch that they're employing on the Plus, though I do feel like, honestly, let's consider this animation here. Can I zoom in on it somehow? Hey Bearing, what's up? Like, I just don't feel like I would have animated it like that. I feel like, for one thing, it feels like it's a little plus and it's trying to jump, but it can't quite get off the ground. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel happy. Like, I feel like if it was a bonus, I would jump up and its little feet would wiggle and it would plop back down. Or I would have, like, stretch, squash, and then plop. Whereas here, it's kind of like, hi! But it's, like, too heavy. Like, it can't get off the ground. It wants to, but it can't. Also, it just makes a weird shape. Oh. I don't know. Should I not show the dashboard? Is that dangerous? I'm looking at the Twitch chat. I did the bits for a bit. Fair enough. Anyway. So, do I have experience with text-based programming? Not extensively. Obviously, I've done loads of scripting for different jobs. Usually whatever I need to do for the job. So, like, it depends on what you count as programming, I guess. Like, I think the most programming-y thing I ever did was I had to write a utility in C# once to manage, God, it was ages ago, to manage audio files for a game early in my career. And then after that, there's most of my work's been in Python, like a lot of my tools in Python. I'm pretty like solid. I spent a good deal of time getting really extensively into Python. Though most of my knowledge, it's not like I could sit down and write a program in Python though, because the vast majority of what I did with that was specifically working with the Maya API. And I feel like that about most stuff. Like I can't sit down and make, like I wouldn't just sit down and like make a calculated program. I'd actually be really confused if I tried to do that. Most of my work has been just building upon some API or something, or extending something. So you'd be surprised if your only experience is like doing scripting within some other program. There's just a lot of, like I've never installed Visual Studio. I borderline hate the idea of it. And there's just a lot of fun foundational stuff. You're learning AWK. What's AWK? Also, I just kind of feel like I never went to school for programming, and there's a lot of just basic like my understanding is only the things that I've needed or wanted to know to get what I wanted to get done, which can get really deep at times, but is missing like vast chunks of just foundational shit. Exactly. What was I doing? Yes, let's look at this camera. Anyway, for me, Blueprint is absolutely perfect. It's basically like, oh no, everything's fucked. Like super fucked. Maybe not super fucked. Maybe, a scale of maybe not fucked to, oh my god, that's so fucked. Where are we? How much work am I gonna have to do here? Is there a way to get this the hell out of the way? Oh god, I can't even look at what's wrong. Alright, so like... Is this the right thing? Yeah. Why is there day 0, 1 and also day 1? That's awfully suspicious. Also, why is day 0, 1 not assigned anything? I have questions. My material ID's probably got jacked. Okay, let's get out of this. Get back into my rig. I accidentally opened Twitter. Meant to open the dashboard. I started from that. Lewis scripting in games and stuff like Python, PHP. The gap's not that big. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like I know. I've written Python scripts to do things like, there have been times when I needed to batch through a series of files on a hard drive, and that was just the most convenient way to do it. Like I do scripting shit a lot, but I don't, like I think I've made an executable once in my life though. AWK is a language for text processing. It's part of the set of Unix terminal programs such as bash, sed, grep. Alright, I feel like I should know what you're talking about. Bash, Bash. Alright, let's learn. Let's learn today. Let's dedicate 5 minutes to figuring out what the fuck this guy's talking about. Bash. Grep. AWK? How to use AWK in Bash scripting. Okay, what is, no. Linux shell text processing tools. Okay, so it's like command line stuff. Got it. To get very specific things done, probably in Linux. Do you say like Unix? When you installed the engine, did you install the debugging info? No. You know how fun this is? I don't actually... Usually when you work in the Unreal Engine and you have a Perforce, you put the engine on Perforce because your programmers are going to mess with the engine, right? And everybody has to be in the same engine. We don't even have to do that. Everybody just gets the latest engine from Unreal. We had to stop doing that for a while because there's a crash bug on latest, but I rolled a programmer on my team recently to help me to like... Disbelief is going to do the ports as soon as I get my shit together with respect to... I want to launch the game on consoles. I'm going through some bureaucratic bullshit and I just don't have a lot of time right now to deal with it. So whatever. Eventually Kine will be on consoles. Hopefully all of them as soon as possible. I've already signed a deal with Disbelief. They're already going to do it. And so Elmore, my friend, has been looking through and he figured out why Kine can't go onto the latest engine. He actually found it. Like at some point I flipped a bool in the settings that was making the blueprint take a different code path that's obsolete now. Anyway, long story short, we just use the latest engine. Whatever Unreal has. Honestly, you could use Python for the same stuff Bash said, AWK, etc. do. I don't know, like... There are options you can install debug info and call stack in the logs folder. I haven't had any crashes yet. Up until yesterday. Like, at all. I mean, I've had crashes where I've done something stupid in Blueprint and I've got like an infinite loop, but it's really easy to catch those. I haven't had a crash where it was like, oh my god, this actually crashes the editor until right now. You saw it this morning. Oh, hey. And that's Elmore in the chat. I promote Disbelief. I emailed Sony again. I can't get their attention. But yeah. I was gonna say something clever on more, but I have nothing to say. Just be like, hi. Last time on stream, I actually wrote a note to you in Perforce while everybody watched, but you didn't notice it. I felt really sad. It's in the Perforce chicken. Yeah, Kine is on PC. It's gonna be on the Epic Games Store exclusively. It's not coming out on Steam. But that's only PC. I plan to launch on consoles as well. That's kind of like part of the deal. Okay. We're gonna figure out why the materials are all jacked. So timed exclusive. I mean, I weighed the pros and cons, and at the end of the day, like, I couldn't afford to come out on, like, to me, getting this game on the Switch would have been sweet, right? And like, also, yeah, I took the Epic deal. I'm proud I did it too. I really like I've always worked closely with those guys. I love them a lot. I actually genuinely want to support their storefront. Like I really like those guys a lot. And it was really cool that they believed in Kind. They thought it was a cool project. It makes them look good because it's a blueprint only project. It's kind of just sort of meant to be. Yeah, you can buy it a year later on Steam. It's a 1-year exclusive. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but literally everybody else has said that, so I feel like, yeah. I think it's pretty well known that's what Epic's doing right now. I don't think that's a secret. Okay, so day 1 mat is applied there. So these materials are applied correctly. So why aren't you showing up then, huh? Are you not skinned? You are skinned. So like, are you... I don't even know where to begin here. Is there any way to even see this? What if I take this material and I set it by default to show a red X? Is completed. Let's just set this to default to true and apply. So now, yeah, okay, so you're all there. They're getting into the engine. You can see the X's. Oh, and before I couldn't see them because they were invisible, you dumb, of course. Okay, so yeah, so there's day 0, 1, 2, 3. I don't know where 4 is. 5, 7. What the hell? What are you? Versus you? Is set correctly in here. Where's 4? Okay, so that's 3. Am I just going from 3 to 5 then? 1, 2, 3, 5. Well, how the fuck did that happen? And then I guess we're going right. That's curious. What are you guys about? You're 4. Okay, well, let's name you 4. Actually, no. Let's name you 4 because you are 4. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. Went back one, did we, huh? 19, 20. Okay, so what are you? You're supposed to be 21, it looks like. Yeah, okay. Just missing a 2. Cool, it's cute. 22, 23, 24. That's it. Okay. Well, all right. Save and export. Hey Middle, what's up, dude? It's somewhat sad you need to explain why you're why you're an Epic Games Store exclusive. Gamers don't understand how much that deal helps the developer. Gamers should understand it's okay to wait before it's available on their platform. GTA 5 is not on PC. Yeah. I mean, it is just a very hot topic for, like, to me it's confusing, I guess, because it was, I'm a very honest person, and I feel like if you knew anything about me or Kind, you would have seen this coming a mile away. Like, I've literally given talks about how important it is to partner with platform holders and how closely I work with Epic and have for years. Like, I feel like if I didn't take this deal, that would have been very weird and confusing. Like, obviously. Like, I mean, it was to the point where I reached out to them and they were like, yeah, you were one of the first people we were going to call. Like, we've always been, like, I love promoting their engine. I love working with them. They retweet all my stuff. Like, I'm part of the Unreal Engine community in a way. So yeah, like, and then seeing the backlash is incredible, especially from, like, I have a friend that's a game developer in AAA. I mean, AAA sensibilities are very different from indie. But he's a game developer. He works on he works at Rockstar. And I'm like, your games aren't even available on Steam. Fuck you. Like, why are you so mad? Because he's legitimately upset and thinks that it's anti-consumer to have exclusives on PC. He's very adamant about this as a game developer, which is just blowing my mind. I don't know what to I don't know what to say about it, because it's definitely, I mean, part of it is maybe, I don't think any indie in their right mind would ever say that what's happening right now is a bad thing. It's so good for the industry to have this competition. I feel like the last several years, all anybody's been doing is screaming that the sky is falling because of the indie apocalypse, and there's no way to, like, get, that there's too many games, storefronts are flooded, and right now we have this amazing moment where there's an actual content war. And if you're an indie, it's the splash damage is hitting everybody. Like, you could, depending on who you've been partnered with all these years, if you've been doing this for years and you've been struggling and scraping by, but you have a really good relationship with Apple, now is a really good time to have a good relationship with Apple, because they're slamming money on the table for Apple Arcade. I happen to be friends with Epic. I've been working to promote their stuff for years. I've been struggling. It's great to be a part of their ecosystem. I couldn't have funded Kind on my own. Like, this would have been a solo project the whole way. And because of the funding, I can come out on all the other consoles, right? Which is, I'm honestly kind of over the moon about that. Like, this is the greatest thing this is great for me. And it's not like, I mean, I'm gonna be very honest, and I really shouldn't admit this, but, like, I didn't have 2,000 wishlists on Steam. Like, this game would have made nothing on Steam. Steam was getting nowhere for me. Like, to me, this was the best thing that could have ever happened. And it's not like I'm losing some consumers. Everybody that wishlisted the game on Steam went there from my Twitter page. I know, because I can look at the stats, right? There's no, Steam wasn't doing anything to earn that cut. And yeah, like, I always try to see things from all the different perspectives, and I can definitely see, as a consumer, not wanting to put your credit card into another website. I can see that the Epic storefront is nowhere near as good, like, feature-wise, as Steam. That's absolutely true. Like, I can definitely see arguments why, as a consumer, I wouldn't want it, but as a developer, like, this has made it possible for me to do this. I don't know, like, they invited me to GDC, they showcased my game at GDC, and they gave me, like, several hundred t-shirts to give out for the game. Like, this is amazing what Epic just did for me. So it's hard not to kind of be a huge fucking fan of Epic right now for me. Maybe the problem is the word exclusive because it's not actually an exclusive. Yeah. It is. It's to help people go to their platform, which is really humbling in a way, because if they think it's like, if having Coin on their platform is good for them, so good that it pulls consumers to their platform, that's a really sweet indication that they believe in what I'm doing, which is not an indication I've gotten from like anyone else really. Because I was shopping well, I mean, I was talking to a publisher. I almost had a publisher deal and I didn't have to take it because of the Epic deal. And like, that was huge for me. It meant I get to make what I wanted. And there's only so much I can say without like breaking every fucking NDA possible, right? Like there's certain things I can't say, but over the years, Epic has always been there for me as a developer, like in a pretty cool way. They showcased the Flame in the Flood at GDC as well for us. Anytime like, if I need a favor, or like if I need somebody to, I need a contact at Microsoft because no one will return my calls, and I have a problem with the Xbox, I can ping certain people at Epic and they'll like ping Microsoft for me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. It's hard. Compared to a console exclusive, yeah. Like, and keep in mind, it's not like this is new. With the Flame and the Flood, we were console exclusive to the Xbox. We didn't come out on the PS4 for a year. Microsoft paid us to not come out on any other platform. Actually, they paid us to specifically not come out on the PS4 I can't say what they paid us to do. That's illegal. When we launched, we only launched on PC and on the Xbox. These kinds of deals have been happening in the industry for a very long time. Yeah, I think this is a weird case where if you're a developer, Epic has always been in your corner. If you're a developer working in the Unreal Engine, like Epic has always done everything they can to be in your corner. This is nothing new. Like they, for the last 10 years, since the Indie Mega Booth started, if you have a game and you want it in the Indie Mega Booth, and you submit with an Unreal Engine game, Epic will pay for the cost of your booth space. There's just all these, and they're open about it. Like you can Google this. Epic has always been there for the developers that use their engine. So they have just such a good reputation right now. And Valve, like they're cool, but I've been bitten by them before. And there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about there either. But like, I fucking love Epic, man. Like, yeah. I should go listen to that talk. And it's not like, I mean, there's definitely, I don't want to make it sound like there's this universal love of Epic. I remember back in the day there was quite a bit of, I mean, it wasn't always like this. Perceptions change over time. There was definitely used to be a lot more love towards Valve when the storefront was smaller. There definitely used to be a lot more hate towards Epic back when, in like the Unreal Engine 2 days specifically, because they used to have clauses where anytime you wrote something extending the Unreal Engine, they had the ability to just kind of take that and fold that into the engine. I remember people griping about that once, but that was so before my time. And the market shifts. Valve is too hands-off with their platform moderation. Keep in mind what Epic's end goal is. I know exactly what their end goal is. They want they want a lot of things. I mean, they're interesting. They're simultaneously pushing in, they're a big company with a lot of goals, and I think a lot of their stated goals are they want to move more into enterprise software. Right now they're not satisfied with simply crushing Unity. They also want to eat Autodesk's lunch and they want to eat Steam's lunch. You're seeing them, they're pushing hard into like architectural previs. You probably, unless you're following it closely, don't even realize how hard they've pushed into that. If you look at where their grants are going, they're supporting a lot of film stuff. The idea that people make 3D films in the Unreal Engine is something they're pursuing. It's part of why they're ripping their engine apart and making it more modular. Like, you can now rip out the physics system entirely because films don't need that. They're trying to expand their engine into this kind of behemoth that can do a lot of things. They're also, another thing they're doing is making a storefront. That's absolutely true. And I don't think it'll necessarily stop at games, but definitely initially it will. And there's a lot of, I can definitely see a world where you make a game in the Unreal Engine, hit a button and publish it to the Epic storefront, and it's like one walled garden kind of a deal. I can see that world. I don't think that it'll ever totally go that way. I think you can already see that, like, Epic is really committed to working with other people. They just may sweeten the deal if you stay within their ecosystem. Like, if you make the Unreal Engine... So, I'm making an Unreal Engine game. When it come out on the Epic Games Store, I don't have to pay the 5% fee to Epic for the engine. Like, I just don't have to pay that. Epic's waiving that on their storefront, but not on the other ones. So there's basically a 5% gross tax to be on any other storefront, which you really shouldn't think of it as a tax because I'm using their engine. You should think of it as like a bonus that I get for releasing in their ecosystem. But yeah, like, they made this deal where you can sell Humble keys. If you sell a Humble key, you can sell both a Steam or an Epic Game Store Humble key, right? But if somebody buys the game through Humble, then I have to pay an extra 5% gross to Epic anyway, because I'm using their engine. So it's not in my best interest to release through Humble. It's just something I can, if I'm releasing on Humble anyways, consumers can activate their product on the Epic Games Store. It's interesting. Oh, sorry. It's kind of not like console exclusivity. I have a personal computer. I have an operating system. Can I play the game on my operating system in my machine? If yes, it's not platform exclusive. True. They're not crushing Unity. Yeah, Javix, I'm jumping ahead. I don't think they're crushing Unity. We can go back to that. You're right, it's not like... I can see where you're coming from, Terminator. It's storefront exclusivity, that's accurate. But when you're talking about the budgets we work in as developers, well, that's not true. I can see how, especially as a consumer, it feels very, very different. I can totally see that. I think I guess I've said this before, but the way I think about it is nobody gets mad at Blizzard for releasing their games through their launcher. Nobody gets mad at Valve for not releasing their games through the Discord store or through the Epic Games Store, right? It's not like this game was going to exist in its incarnation and then Epic paid for the exclusive. Epic completely funded Kine. It was going to be a solo project, and they infused enough money to take this project to the place where I really wanted it to be. They funded the game. So it's Epic's game. As far as I'm concerned, they own it. So I don't feel like it's wrong for them to want it on their storefront. And in all seriousness, I don't even begrudge people for taking the deal to be exclusive on a storefront. I think that's going to happen more and more. I think we're just going to have to swallow that this is the new reality soon, because, like, with the subscription services coming, I think we're going to see this a lot. I think the storefronts are already fracturing. I think people are just mad at Epic because they're, like, Discord had exclusives. You just didn't care because they weren't cool. Anyway, yeah, no, Epic is not crushing Unity. I think they... Yeah. I don't see where Unity fits. As somebody who's extraordinarily biased, who's used the Unreal Engine for a really long time, but I see Unreal is this premium product. It's being used by a lot of AAA. They're gonna, in an effort to hit film and other things, they're gonna make the engine more modular, which will, I think, make it even more competitive with Unity. I don't personally see where Unity survives. I see other things surviving, but Unity is just close enough to the Unreal Engine and similar enough, but isn't. I'm biased. I don't see the appeal. I'm biased. Maybe it's probably still better for phones and web dev. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know people that make games in Unity. Yeah, I don't know. Hard for me to criticize Epic with how much they're helping devs. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping the EGS gets better too. That's only good for me. I want the Epic Game Store to get better. I think they're trying to do so many things so fast. There was an article this week about it too, right? Like they're working their people really hard. They're hiring like crazy. Every time I go down there, they've increased their team size by like 10%. They've bought the building across the street. They've tripled the size of their parking lot. Like they're trying to grow to do all these things, and they have a lot of things they're trying to do because they're trying to support the biggest game in the world while also launching a storefront and getting out all these engine features they've promised. And so they're simultaneously, like, they cannot spend money fast enough right now to get everything done that they want to get done, which is a good problem to have, but it's also a problem. I just got here, but one thing I like about Epic deal is that it gives Kind more exposure. It was hard to find on Steam, but I often see it on the front page of Epic. Really? You do? Shit. What front page? Like on their storefront? Hold on a minute. I want to know more. I don't go to their launcher very much. I feel like I should hide this. I don't know why. Like, you see on their homepage? Oh, this is very laggy. Is it working? Oh, there it goes. Shit, I don't know who you are. I think this is just their news feed. They have been really nice though. Oh, they launched in Korea. There's such a huge content war right now. You have no idea. Between like Stadia, Epic, everybody's fighting for the same handful of people. And I'm like, I don't know anything, but I mean, you know what I'm curious about, right? Because I'm ex-irrational. And Ken Levine's been really quiet for a really long time, so I'm curious to see what the hell he announces and when. There's other people too, like people who I haven't heard from in a really long time. Like, where is Bithell announcing his thing? You know he's up to something. That's why I'm simultaneously kind of like, E3 this year might get interesting. I'm just thinking of who's been real quiet. Hey, there I am. I gotta fucking fix that. What do I think of Stadia? I don't know, too soon. Like, I haven't had any new thoughts because I played the demo initially back when they did the Assassin's Creed thing. I think I've waxed philosophical about that quite a bit. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped some stuff. These engines are just tools. What kind of game are you making? Does the tool help make the game? Use that tool. Don't need to hammer everything with a hammer. I agree. I always thought there'd be... You know what I was really interested in was Dreams, the thing Media Molecule was doing. Because that hits that space I've always been curious about, which is kind of like, can making game... A lot of people want to be game developers. Can making a game be fun? And I feel like Dreams had the potential to hit that. It's getting some buzz. I haven't personally checked it out, but a lot of people seem to love it. But in general, I always thought engines could get way more bespoke too. Like there'd be more niche engines, which hasn't happened. Oh shit. Oh, Unity is greater than Unreal. Sorry, Unity is already modular. Yeah, Unreal's a first-person shooter plus plus. You haven't looked since 2017. You can't talk about what Unity lacks. Okay. It can do mobile, but it's shit. The XC is greater than 40 megabytes before you even add any game logic. That's true. And Epic is really, like, they are trying to break it apart and make it more modular. They definitely start with what's, I mean, Epic always starts with what they need to make their games, right? And they always have when making their engine. Personally, I find the art tools to be a lot more powerful. I'm an animator. I've always found their animation tools to be a lot more powerful. And I love the visual scripting, and I don't know, like this engine was basically built for me. I'm kind of not super into C#. I dabbled in it once a long time ago. So for me, I like it a lot. And you're right, I'm not really in a position to super compare Unity and Unreal. I do know every time, like I pushed my friend to apply for an Epic grant, and so he rebuilt, like Marcos rebuilt his game in the Unreal Engine so he could apply for an Epic grant over a couple days. And I'd argue, like in a couple days, he had it looking prettier than it was in Unity. But I mean, I can't personally compare them. Later, no. I can't fathom how someone can only have a Steam client nowadays anyways. Being more than one game client has been a thing for years now. How big would an Unreal Engine game be? Oh. I mean, they got Fortnite on a mobile. I do think it takes a bit of doing though, probably. I suspect Unity's probably better for mobile, and I do know like Alan's big hang up on Unity is that it doesn't run, or sorry, the Unreal Engine may not run as well on, like it requires a more powerful PC, which matters just to a lot of people. I think especially if you're living the indie, travel the world lifestyle, I use my laptop kind of deal. I can see how Unity would be better because it does run on less good soft or hardware. These are just concerns that I guess, yeah, I don't know. Like I don't spend that much on my computer. I don't have the best computer ever. I have sweet 4K monitors now, and that's actually kind of taxing my computer. And I did that because I needed them for Kine. Like I don't have tech that's that impressive, but I am a privileged American. To me, spending a couple $100s on a computer is not that big of a deal. It's hard to say. I'm gonna grab a soda, I'll be right back. I don't believe in C# for games. I mean, it's happening. Do you also not believe in the moon landing? Spill shit everywhere. Hey, Port Ponky. Tell me Fortnite would be possible on a phone with Unity. Ooh, shots fired. What have you been up to, Port Ponky? Making new shit? Are you doing the London Dare? That's this weekend, right? Ludum? That a little fucking thing people are doing? London. London? I don't do jams, me neither. Sweet. Thank you. I've never done one. I feel like I'm not a developer. Didn't realize how popular they were. I guess designers and AAA do them too. Sometimes. All right. Check my materials while we talk. Been reworking a book I wrote in 2015. It's a lot of weird garbage. Port Ponky, you are a man of... You're a Renaissance man. The modern era. Sure. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I should just let it go. Damn it. So you're probably 4. Maybe. No, you're 5, I bet. If I recall, 5 was 4. Right? No, that's definitely 5. Fuck. Right, you're 5. You're 4. Okay, the other one that was jacked up was... Where? You. Okay, you're 20... 21 if I recall. Yeah. And what was the other thing I had to do? I think... So, you're finding it... Yeah, there's no 0. Could just literally do this. So build a string that is day underscore if this is less than 10. Add a 0. Otherwise I add nothing. So day underscore possibly 0, then the number, and then the suffix mat. That should map to the material names. Sure. Yeah, pop cans. I'm like, don't really want to work. So, distract me right now is really easy. I've been working a lot. I'm tired. It's also why I spent yesterday doing camera bullshit instead of getting this shit done. But I've only got, both sides, I got 5 weeks till content lock. So, when I'm streaming, I give myself permission to do whatever the hell I want, including nothing. Because I've convinced myself I should do this for marketing reasons. 10k subs on a secret channel? What? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't reading Port Ponky. Port Ponky's new initiative is so secret we're not invited to it. It's exclusive. Alright, well. Oh, is that drift making anybody else nauseous? Okay. Cool. So this is now working again. Now let's get rid of the X's being on by default, and then we'll be back in business. And as you complete them, like I'm cheating to unlock them, as you complete them, they'll X out. This needs to look more interesting. When you first get here, it'll only look like this. Which is pretty boring, but I think, I've got to send my artist notes here. Also, I'm confused about where all the lines went. That might be my fault. But overall, these need to move down. Do I like how it's sitting? I think I like how it's sitting. Let's take literally all the levels and move them down one. I think I'm fine with you not being able to see the back. I like that you're silhouetted with the calendar long term. I think that'll look cool. Let's take every level. Okay, not here. You push monotony. Still working on that game? Good. Oh wait, are you already... Yeah, those are already where I need them to be. The rest of you. That's cute. Have you tried kind on the, what is Steam doing? The thing that lets you play on Linux? I'm curious about that somewhat. I keep forgetting what it's called. Valve's like Linux initiative. For reference, everybody in the chat, I gave Portpunky a key to Kine over a year ago. But he has a Linux machine. And I think I updated the build on Steam like last week. Yeah, it's called Proton, right? Yeah, I think you had that right. OXL 1Q. I think it's called Fuck Microsoft. Oh, well. Hey man, you like what you like. If that's what Valve's into, who am I to judge? We are for all sexual orientations in this channel. Ooh, man, maybe I want this to sit a little lower. I thought it was. The hell did I fuck up? Is this just... Do I want it to sit a little lower? Because it's already kind of... I can't make that part thicker. Right, another thing we need to do is have a folding up animation. Am I releasing on Linux? I wasn't planning on it, but especially now, because in all seriousness, I don't know. I haven't talked to Epic yet because I'm not close enough to launch to know what they support. I assume you can buy Linux games on the Epic. I don't know what you can buy in the Epic storefront. I honestly wasn't planning on doing it initially on Steam, just because I don't have a Linux machine to test with or the bandwidth to figure out how to make a Linux build. If you ever want to, Portpunky, I mean, this is, if you want to play, in fact, in general, like, I'm locking content in 5 weeks, so if you want to play through the game, and if you can, through Proton or whatever, and send me feedback, this would be a really good time to do it. Didn't Tim Swooney say all Linux users employ child soldiers to fight illegal diamond wars? I don't think that's what he said. I think he said one or two very mild-mannered things about how Linux was not a priority. And probably wouldn't be in the near future. Or the ever future at one point. Anyway. What are all the things I have to do? I have to have a folding up animation. I want to experiment with, can I lower this? No. I cannot. Okay. I want to have this animation come out. Oopsies. You're fine. I want your final location to be 100 units lower. I want, yeah, I want that. I want, let's go from 30 to 60. that'll do. So that's the unfold and fold animation. Whoops, wrong thing. Animation export. Closing. .fbx. It's from 30 to 60. You gotta make the Linux version work for Steam build at least. Yeah, that'll be a year out. That's significantly more likely than launch. I've been thinking about writing a parody romance novel. What if people actually like it? How do you make it a parody? I mean, have you read a romance novel, Port Ponky? I mean, like, if we've reached a point, I don't know what you would have to do to make it a parody. Like, I don't know what you would have to do to make it a parody. I mean, you'd have to go straight, like you'd have to go sci-fi at this, like, you would have to, it wouldn't even be parody, like, you'd have to do some kind of crossover, because you really just can't possibly jump the shark. The shark is getting jumped in every fucking, you think it's easy? What is your parody romance novel idea, Port Ponky? I mean, I suppose there's ways you could do it. Like, change the setting, make it so that it's not like a romance novel between people, but it's like a romance novel between animals. That's possible. Or aliens. I mean, I imagine there are ways. Diarrhea Sunrise. Well, that would... Okay. Definitely moving in a different direction than I was anticipating. It's like Tequila Sunrise, but chocolate milk instead of tequila. Alright, well, this says a lot about your gastrointestinal distress with respect to dairy, really, Port Ponky. And also, I suppose I'm sorry, I guess. A romance novel about two people who write romance novels. That would be fun if they had just completely normal lives, like a very boring relationship where, like no sparks, just, what is, you know, like the milquetoast of relationships. I don't know. Yeah, even that's hard to make that interesting in a way. A romance novel about two people that write romance novels. I suppose there's ways to make that kind of interesting, actually. I mean, it's hard to really dig into the life of somebody who writes romance novels. You know, writers, obviously. They used to be the quintessential, like, here is a person that does not work a 9-to-5 desk job, make their own hours. A lot of the stuff for, like, how to cope as a game developer, as an indie developer, a lot of those articles come about from, like, writers, because they lead such... not unusual lives, just they live lives where they don't necessarily follow a routine in the way that most people do. My wife and I are both published authors apart from me. Your wife writes fables too, right? Which is cool. Or wait, no, I thought you were a poet, Port Ponky. Or are you an unpublished poet? It's hard to relate to them. No, I think I can relate to them a lot more. I think the lifestyle of a writer is far more common now. Like, I think people, historically, it was very normal. People had much more structure in their lives. There was much more of a 9 to 5 culture. There was, I mean, this could be perspective because I'm in the games industry, but now with people working from home and working remote a lot, and because I'm an indie developer, I'm around people who are more nomadic in general. The gig economy being what it is, where everybody has a side hustle, a lot of people don't have necessarily that structured rhythm to every single day. You know what I mean? I think that's actually more normal now. Whereas that used to be like something only writers dealt with. I think now that's something a lot of people deal with. Oh, your wife is the poet and a children's author. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'm not sure if it's true that that's more common in the world today, or if I just feel that way because I'm an indie developer. I feel like it's true that people don't work 9 to 5 jobs as much as they used to, like 20, 30 years ago. I feel like millennials are far more likely to work extremely flexible hours, have multiple jobs, that sort of thing, but I guess I don't know for sure. Like, it's hard because we're all in our own bubble, right? But I'm definitely deep in the everyone I know is a Silicon Valley or indie developer bubble right now. Right? So I could just be crazy. I don't know. I mean, in reality, if you look at statistics, the vast majority of the country still works retail, waitressing. Truck driving is its own culture. So I suppose that's a big part of our economy. Millennials and the planet are quickly dying. It's much easier to work for yourself. Yeah. Everyone's got a side hustle. I don't know if that's necessarily better or not. What the fuck? Oh. It's easier to learn other people's perspective with the internet. Maybe. I mean, part of it too is people who spend a lot of time on the internet are also a bubble, right? Which is something that is easy to forget. Like, especially in my industry, Twitter is a small subset of the games industry. The games industry Twitter is only the people who are on games industry Twitter, which is a very heavily skewed towards indie and press. And I think it's really easy to forget that. How do I explain this? I mean, you could just look at the numbers. The vast majority of the people working in the games industry work in AAA, obviously. Like, Ubisoft employs 1,000 people or so. Like, most of those people can't be on Twitter anyway, and also just have lives, like kids and shit, and just aren't waxing philosophical about random crap on Twitter. And so, like, if you spend a lot of time on Twitter, you have this idea of what the games industry is, but your idea is focused only on the bubble of people that are on Twitter, which is a very specific group of people, which is a very small part of the industry. So, like, even on the internet, being on the internet just forces you into a different bubble in a way. There's definitely like the horrifying. There's some horrifying bubbles in the internet too. Like I was reading. God, what did I read this week? I read an article so terrifying I actually just kind of stopped for an hour and went for a walk to like not to like brain bleach it out. It was about the we shouldn't talk about that. It was like a Vox article on incels and stuff. But like there's dark parts of the internet too. I think the bubble problem got really bad with social media. Yeah. Everybody knows it, nobody knows what to do about it. I mean, in a way, social media has really expanded. How do I put it? So social media is really, really cool. And I love it sometimes because it's cool to like crowdsource ideas or to show things to people. And it's fun in a way because you can feel way more connected to people. Twitch is weird. We've talked about this before. There's something really weird and personal about Twitch and YouTube in general. Like these new forms of communication, like this kind of weird reality TV, but way more micro famous is a big thing. I think that's interesting. Where was I going with this? We have bubbles. Yeah. The problem, and everybody knows it, is that right now, in any given group or ideology, the only thing you hear is the most extreme variant of it because that's the sexiest and most interesting thing. So, like, when you hear about PETA, the things that get promoted about PETA aren't like the merits of eating vegetarian. It's, oh my god, did you know that PETA is now bombing labs where scientists are working on animals? And so you get into this kind of world where your only taste of any given group is the most extreme version of that group. And it's easy to kind of hate all groups or lose your mind or think everybody's crazy or I don't know. And it pushes everybody to being more extreme too. It normalizes extremism. It makes it so that there's just a lot of negatives to the way things are right now. It can make it so saying simple things is like, oh god, what's the worst? There's a lot of problems with the way things are right now. I don't think PETA's a good example, but yes, why don't you think PETA's a good example? The vast majority of people who are vegetarian are not bombing hospitals. The vast majority of like, I don't know. How do I explain it? I do fear that we have reached a world. You're either on the left side or the right side. That's true too. The you have to be on a side thing is definitely true, which is difficult. I think that goes into like some personal stuff. Obviously, I grew up in Virginia, and I live in Cambridge. So, yes, like and there's people in my family that voted for Trump, and there's like, and I know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, the general hostility and polarization is huge, and you can't talk about how polarized the country is in a lot of ways unless, like, no matter what you do, you're a Nazi, I feel like. And I'm a liberal. I'm not equipped to even have this conversation. Like, it's just a very difficult time. We have a lot of bubbles right now, and there's a lot of extremism, there's a lot of wedges being driven in between people. In general, which sucks. And it's easy to get really freaked out. Like, I know logic. I read that article about, like, how do I put it? What 4chan has become and what 8chan is and what incels are and stuff like that. And that stuff is fucking terrifying. And I feel like sometimes you wake up and all the media wants to do is be like, you're gonna get murdered, you're gonna get raped, some terrible thing is gonna happen to you today. All you hear is like all these terrible things about all these terrible groups and stuff, and it's just, it pushes you further into a bubble and into being more afraid of the world and of people and stuff, and it's just, in a way, it's kind of shitty right now. I don't know if there's a solution. But yeah. In general, the good outweighs the bad for social media. PETA has made themselves into a joke repeatedly, and it's hard to take them seriously as an organization. Give examples. I mean, they did crazy shit back when I was in, like, college. I do remember that. I was at RIT and they had this, man, people talk about protests in college today. It's nothing compared to what it used to be. Like, back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago, protests on college were so much more extreme. I remember they had like this naked chick in a cage. Like, I don't know how she was protesting animals, but it got a lot of press. Like, she's outside in the cold in a cage, and I think they made her put on a bikini for reasons. Like, protesting our treatment of animals. We used to do weird, crazy shit. But yeah, PETA was the... I said PETA because that was the only thing I could think of when I was in college. As being like the big group to protest. That is, in all seriousness, like, being a vegetarian's like... I don't think you can question that that's a morally good thing for the most part. Animals are also naked in cages. They want less cages and more clothed animals. We must clothe... Yes, Port Punky. They're trying to knit sweaters for the livestock. That was their goal. I don't know what their goal is. That's the problem with that kind of marketing. Like, it definitely got attention. What did it get attention for? I mean, I know PETA exists, and I know that they did that. What the goal was of that, I honestly can't tell you, though it was many years ago. Anytime PETA tries to make an issue out of digit animals being hard, I have no idea what you mean. Hey, what's up? William Cheer. Sorry, you messaged me while I was streaming, man. You guys all know William Cheer, right? You guys are following Manifold Garden? Yo, let's, William, I want to show them Manifold Garden. What should I show them? I know you've had some really beautiful tweets lately. It was hailing in Chicago and now it's too hot. I'm just gonna Google it. Check out Manifold Garden. I've been loving your the videos you've been doing lately about how things have changed over time. Like the water changing over time, and before that the other one. That's so exciting. Have you announced exactly when you're coming out, William? Or is it just like later this year? Show the Instagram page. Oh, what? Does it play? No, just... Okay. Oh, dude, what the fuck, man? Well done. Oh, I'm so excited for this game. I think we're both coming out late this year. Dude, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna launch and I'm gonna be like, because right when you launch, you have nothing to do and you're just nervous and you've gotta like do stuff. And usually right after I launch is when I play the most games. I'm just gonna get lost in this. I can't wait. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Dude, does this just keep going? Oh my god, it just keeps going. What? Is it getting crazier? Holy shit, dude. Dude. How long did this take you? Dude. God damn. That Instagram is a pain in the butt to maintain. How do you have to maintain it? I was hoping you just said it once and you just never changed it again. Dude, you did it. Is this all in the game too? So what are you up to, William? Are you down to like... I haven't caught your streams lately. I remember you were doing audio, you did the credits. At this point you're on bug fixing, right? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, it's just soda. Yeah, I'm right behind you. I'm 5 weeks until I lock content. I'm just trying to slam in the last of the stuff. I think my game's way smaller though. This is gonna be like what, at least 10 hours, right? 10 hours first person game. Your first game. You're a maniac. Let's get more cool shit. Let's look at your shit on Twitter. Six hours. But more of your completionist. Oh, I'm excited. It's a lot of game. This is the year of the puzzle game. Between, I mean, I say I'm part of it, maybe, but like, between this, I think Museum of Science Technology is probably coming out this year. We got Baba Is You. I wonder if Alan Hazelden's coming out this year. Maybe not. I have to check. I don't think he's announced it. I felt like there was way more too. Maybe I'm crazy. Museum of Science Technology has been renamed. What is it now? I've been following that one because it's the other puzzle game with the jazz music. So ironically, we hung out for a bit and talked about it, but we keep every now and then somebody's like, oh yeah, the puzzle game with the jazz music, and they're talking about the other game, and that's happening to both of us. Untitled Pillow Castle game. Oh. What? No. Unannounced title. It might be a legal issue. It's one of the things I probably shouldn't talk about, but like I didn't trademark Kine for a long ass time, and then I got the deal because it's expensive, and then I got the deal with Epic, so I had the money to finally trademark it. And like I started that process, and it's going through, like everything's fine. But one of the reasons why I might be delayed on console is because like somebody else scooped up the name Kine without getting the trademark or anything at some point. Not necessarily for a game, possibly for some other app. And until my trademark goes through, I can't contest it. And so now I have to, like, I either rename the game or I wait like a month and hope that the scramble all pans out. Oh, Hellcat 22, that was just the Steam page for, it's linked, Port Ponky linked it up above. Pillow Castle unannounced title. Pillow Castle is the name of a company making another first-person puzzle game based on perspective. Also known as the other Puzzle Jazz game. Oh, before that we were looking at Manifold Garden. Manifold Garden Instagram. I just googled Manifold Garden Instagram. Hey Michael, I have a similar issue, but I'm just gonna do a rename and not fight it. Well, for me, because it's like it takes something like 6 months to go through the trademark process, and I had started that already right as soon as I got the money, because I knew I'd have to do it for other reasons. And so it's close enough now where it should just be like finished soon. So I'm just gonna own it. And like, just for legal reasons, they told me that somebody else took the name Kine. It's not necessarily for a game. And if I'm close enough to the trademark process to just get that, like if it's a month away anyway, just get it and then take the title. But I don't know who, like I'd rather just know who it was and like talk about it. I don't know, because it's like sometimes people will sign up for something to release an app under a name and then like cancel the project and disappear, and years pass and it's just kind of sitting there. So that might be a situation. I don't know how big of a deal it is. I don't know who or what I'm fighting right now. Manifold Garden used to be called Relativity, and that had trademark issues. Shit. The most famous one was definitely Iron Brigade, right? Oh god. Because I remember that caused some friction. That was a huge amount of drama between Microsoft and Double Fine when that went down. Because Microsoft was like, Tim Schafer, don't you fucking dare announce that game. We don't have the trademark and we're in the middle of a legal dispute. Yeah. It was called like Trench or something. And then, but he's like, well, I'm on stage. We prepared a trailer. We're announcing it. And then they announced it. And then as soon as they announced the name that they were making the game, what the game was, the people who owned the trademark were like, it's going to cost 20 times as much, possibly 100 times as much to get this trademark from us. And then Microsoft was furious and Double Fine was furious. Just drama ensued. It was one of the more famous ones. It happens to a lot of people. Moblets and Ooblets, for instance. Relativity Media is a film financing studio. Huh. And then they went bankrupt and you still couldn't get the trademark? I mean, I like Manifold Garden. It's beautiful. It's memorable. I think it's better than Relativity. Relativity feels like it's set in space. It's funny to think about Marvel. Like back in the 90s when they basically went bankrupt or something. And see how far they've come. Oh, you guys are the best. I didn't want to work today. You won't have the same problem I had. I applied for the trademark, but development was... Oh, it expired. And you had to reapply. No! Yeah, that's happens too. Because you have to sell something within 6 months of getting the trademark, right? I had an interesting week to share. We went from not having even looked at Unreal Engine's source code to making a code-compiled Xbox build and got it running in the dev kit. In a week. Well done. Cool. Congratulations, man. I'm really hoping for one of those. Sometimes things do pan out. Well, OXL1Q, you can't hold on to a name forever without launching a product. You lock down a name and then you launch your product. Otherwise, people would just sit on trademarks for all the names, right? Yeah, like you have to sell something. Yeah. They get the Unreal Engine to a state where it's perfect for launching the Xbox One. It's down to just a week to do it, and then immediately Microsoft launches their next console. Just drops a nuke on that whole plan. Ooh, E3 is coming. Something to get excited for. What did I do here? I exported these, right? Yeah? Okay. I'm a bit afraid that it's getting close to a terrible time to be making console games, the gray zone of death where people stop being interested in the current gen. I disagree. I think specifically Sony has come out of the gate making sure that people aren't... Like the announcement of, hey, we're going to make a console, not this year, and it's backwards compatible, is a pretty clear indicator of like, go ahead and keep buying PS4s. You know what I mean? PS5 will come out, it'll be a half step. Like they've pretty much made it pretty clear, in my opinion, that they're... I think they want people to keep buying current gen for a while. Will it be an integrated storefront? I mean, are you coming out in 2020? I don't know, man. Like, you're in the Unreal Engine. I would try to make... This is a really good time to be making content. Regardless. And if you have the Unreal Engine, you can port to, like, any of the consoles, whatever hits. And all the consoles are really desperate to lock down, like, stuff for their subscription services and things, right? So, I think if you have a game in flight right now that's, like, a decent premium title... This is a really good time. In general, being a launch title is always like that's the kingmaker, right? Major franchises usually launch with a new console just because like the consoles will do anything to push hardware. They will promote the crap out of those initial launch titles. if anything, launching in like 2020, if you have the clout to be a launch title on the PS5 or something like that, that's probably the best case scenario. And even if you don't have that clout right now, just with all these services spinning up with Apple Arcade and Stadia throwing around just massive amounts of money, new storefronts popping up. Again, we still haven't heard what exactly HBO and Netflix are up to totally. Yeah, Michael, I think like if you are working on a title that's going to launch in 4 to 5 months, it's probably a good time now to make sure. I assume you're like, are you indie? Are you going through the ID at Xbox program? Or are you talking directly to Microsoft? Like, which part are you talking to? Like the Game Pass people? There's a lot of opportunities right now. Like, this is probably one of the best imaginable times to be coming out with a new game. I don't know necessarily if you want to fall into the. Usually, unless you're like big AAA, you don't want to launch September, October, November. Well, October, November, December is dangerous, right? Usually. But this year, the biggest players might be waiting for the new console in 2020. So this might be a good year to be a medium weight title in that range. 5 months from now, what would that put you? Where are we? May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, if you can get out. Also, you might be able to hit before the glut. ID at Xbox is an indie. You don't think you have enough clout to get noticed as a subscription? Yeah, Michael, are you out there in any capacity? Like, do you have... If it slips to October, I'm not releasing it until at least 2020. It's too dangerous. Michael, what's the name of your game? I think you've told me before. Oh, yeah, yeah. Multiplayer. Okay, so it's out in early access. You've done no marketing. So you got no buzz in early access, but that was intentional because you have no marketing. And you plan to launch in 5 months. It's online multiplayer. If I was you, what would I do? This is hard. Because you're going to have a hard time getting the press's attention. You're already going to have a hard time getting the press's attention for an indie game like this, specifically. This is a game that does well in shows. Yeah, I would beg Chris Charla to go to shows with Microsoft in the ID at Xbox program, especially at this point. Ideally, you're at E3 in June. Early access was just to get early playtesters. True. But unfortunately, because he came out in early access, people are going to be like, you're not going to get a massive press bump on launch if for a game that's already in early access, most likely. But then again, I'm not sure what a massive press bump would even do. It's a party game. Your best... I don't know, man. I think I would just really ride Microsoft to try to get into their E3 collection. That would be my play. But that's my play, like, with Kine. So I'd really just only have the one play, which is kiss the ass of any storefront I can. Like, that's basically, like, that's, like, what I do. Like, I got no moves here. And in all seriousness, my plan isn't that successful. The reason the Flame of the Flood panned out was because we got real lucky with the Switch. I don't know how marketing works. What was the name again? Oh, you know, you should reach out to your contact at ID at Xbox, basically. I don't know who yours is. I do know they change. Like, my old contact... Unfortunately, my contacts have left. So I'm in the process of getting new contacts at Microsoft. I don't think Kine has, like, a person at Microsoft. I also need to ask about E3. I basically went to... When they were here in town for PAX, I kind of, like, hung out in their booth for a while and was like, you should show my game at E3. Here's what it looks like. We'll see if that pans out. I'm way less bullish now. Because, like, the people I used to have, like, know people at ID at Xbox, but I don't anymore. Got it, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else you can do. Because it's definitely cute. It's definitely a game that should do well at shows. I don't know how you entice Twitch, but I do feel like you're right that that would be a way to do it. I think, like, if you got the right people to play, a lot of the right people to have fun with a game on Twitch, that could be huge. I don't know how to do that. You would actually know that far better than me. You're completely clueless. Don't worry, we all are. Again, I'm really... probably shouldn't be giving advice with the not being super successful. I don't know whose advice you should listen to. I feel like advice goes stale very quickly too. So I don't know. Do I think being in early access is not a good idea? I think it's a good idea for certain games. But I think the whole point of coming out in early access is to grow a solid user base of fans that are super into the game. To, like, how do you put it? You launch into early access and you get a player base, you give them a Discord, and you get players used to, you work with your players and you polish the game with them, and then they become big advocates for your game, and then it grows virally. Like, that's the story you hear, right? And it's not like, if you don't have that, if you've been in early access but you haven't been kind of growing that user base, if you haven't been cultivating that, then you have to, you're basically just doing a different strategy. Is it deal with a streamer, like pay a streamer? I have no idea. I think there's ways to pay like marketing companies, and they'll, like, give a certain number of keys to streamers. I think Twitch has a thing like that. This is not a plan that I have ever had to do. So I don't know. Because I'm not making a multiplayer game right now. I think in all seriousness, Kind's got a different demographic, right? And I can't talk about what I'm doing, but not Twitch focused. I'm not making a multiplayer game. I have one deal with a medium-sized streamer who does content. Cool. Cool. Alright, so you got some kind of a plan. Stressful. Good luck, man. And with a game like this, I'm not sure if pushing your launch date, if you slip to October. I mean, kids want to play this. This is the kind of game, I don't know. Fuck, man. I don't know how to market things. I hope it pans out. I have one mindset that it will not financially succeed. If it does, it will be a surprise. I'm with you. I have the same mindset. I'm making Kind because I fucking love Kind. And I got enough money from the deal to pay for Kind. And I'm fine with it. If I make 0 sales, I'll have made what I wanted to make. No regrets. What I wanted to make, like, in the making of the game. Not what I wanted to make in the making of the money. I'm making no money. That's fine. I can live on savings for a while. I just really wanted to do this. And you're the same way. Yeah, it wasn't built to make money. It was a training exercise. Sweet. Yeah. It's worth it. I know how you I know how you feel. I dig it. All right. No, I mean, this all still looks like ass, but we got a lot of errors now. Hey, let's check out that crash. Let's save everything. And let's try to make the game crash. Let's see if my theory is right. So I think it's when I go scroll, calendar, scroll, calendar, scroll, no, back, no, none of the above, huh? Not gonna crash, huh? Super just don't know why you were crashing. Man, there's a lot of shit here to figure out. But theoretically, so look at this board up here. If I did my work, I don't know why I haven't tested this yet. Should be another X here? No. Well, I think maybe I'd already beaten that level. I feel like I need to move the camera more this way. Should be an X here. No, huh? No, just not gonna update. How about now? Now you update. Okay. I want you to update when I win the level. So End of stage. Okay, this makes it when you're hovered, that's a section. When do you update a set hovered? Oh, set level complete. Okay. So I said this once when I first make it. Let's in the game mode. There should be an event. Bind event to level 1. I only want to do this if you're open. It's open. Does it matter? No. Really fucking doesn't. Don't know why I'm doing that. Okay. Every time you win a level. Because fuck it, why not? Custom event. If that level name... Let's turn that into a string. Let's see if the string contains... Substring, maybe? Substring. Monotony. Are you a push monotony level? Yeah, okay. So, are you a push monotony? This is how you make games. You test for substrings in your fucking level name. That's probably smart. If this is greater than or equal to 0. This is not some Bush Leagues bullshit right here. So, if you win a level, if that level name has this substring, then oh fuck. Okay. Find the level name in the level list, I think. So table. Ooh. Get data table column. Sorry, no. Data table. Get data table row. Get for me from the level list. Go into the spreadsheet, find the name of this level. Get for me the number. And then call. Wait, what? Yeah. Cool. Level complete. Okay, so now let's play. Nope. X. So right here. Let's look at, add a breakpoint. Do that again. Okay, we're hitting the breakpoint. Push monotony 04 accordion. Current value 0. Good, okay. Going to the level list, you're finding this. Okay. And then, I guess we're just not giving a fuck? Is that the deal here? What, alright, let's try a different angle. Let's try... hitting this breakpoint? No. This function does nothing. That's what we've learned. For reasons I don't understand. So let's go with just a set level. Yeah, like why didn't that call? Because this never got called. Definitely went into here. Actually, I don't feel like I should have to do that. I'm adding a breakpoint. Let's try again. Oops. The lights are out. Really done with that. Now it's dark. Okay, just have more breakpoints in here. So, we're hitting here. No, you're not finding the row name. Why? Okay, you're finding this. You are finding this. Push me. Oh, for fuck's sake. Got it. Okay. So what we need to do. So there's the concept of levels in a child level. So I'm determining a child level is 1. So what I need to do is, if you find this substring, go to the game mode, turn relative, turn loaded, yes, of this level. Give me the parent level. It's a function I wrote, so that should work now. Okay. I think this one you do this. Let's just see if it works. I want to see an X right there. Yes. Okay. Good. Oh, let's do it again. Fuck it. No, that's not right. X. Good. Okay. One more thing done. All right. We did a lot of hanging out and not a lot of getting stuff done, so I think we're going to call this a successful, fun stream. Stream for 3 hours. Did my hanging out with you guys. I swear I'm working constantly. I know it doesn't look like it because this week was a bit more of a wash than usual. Still bummed out that camera thing didn't work out so well. I have pretty good direction from my artist tomorrow for the calendar. I'll clean that up a bit more tonight. I'll probably just pick at stuff and I'll start. The next steps are going to be, I have to do some look dev. I should start some look dev tonight for what I want the office to look like. In the end, it's always better if I have a more clear direction. Like, it's a lot harder. I have to give them direction. Because that's what an art director does. And I don't feel like we figured this out. This is one of the big things to figure out. Because this is just something I mocked up, and I don't think they know what to do with it. I wanted it to be that the papers all fold up. I wanted it to be that we rework the textures for this to be something that looks a little cooler. Like these are just my stub textures. I wanted to do something cooler here, and then I was going to animate the papers flying up and crushing together into origami, and then origami boxes falling into place. That was the goal. And this is kind of like a different stab at what the paper could look like if it was origami. But I don't think the team is loving it. I don't love it either. Like, my idea was maybe like maybe instead of, because they initially had like a box for each thing and it was just too much, it was way too busy. So it's like maybe if we use the texture to, I don't know what I'm doing here. I do feel like they figured out how to make scribbles for numbers here, which is cool. This needs to get way darker. This is just not going to fly. I need to give them proper notes for this. Also, I think the level that you're currently playing on should be red. Let's do that. That'll only take a second. So, like, if you're playing on a level, bind event, level loaded. This is going to be fun because we're just going to copy paste what we just did. So if the level is loading, let's bind an event to that. Find out if it has push monotony. If it does, look it up in the table. In the table, oops. If it does, look it up in the table. In the table, set hovered. The important things are the numbers. Okay. Find the row. Also, if you are completing a level, set level complete, set level hovered to false. Level hovered. We're good to go? Yeah, okay. Let's make sure that works. Okay. Let's see here. Level loaded? No. God damn it. Maybe. Let's see if we get to this breakpoint. Never hit that breakpoint. Oh, for this is unbind event. Let's try it with an actual bind event. Bind event to level load complete. Okay, so I still don't see it. Also, how do I beat this level? Why is there a whole extra area? Did I need this? Maybe I did. That's X'd out. This one did not circle. Oh, it did. Okay. So this is probably triggering so it's probably happening for the first load is I'm setting it to be not hovered here right after I set it to be hovered. So I need this to be either is hovered or current level name. So if you're either hovering over it in the UI or you're playing it. All right. Where did it go? It was there and that went away. It was so shy. Let's figure that out. So tell me when you hit here and tell me when you hit here. I want to see both. Okay. There, set is hovered. Sure. Sure. Shit. God damn it. How do I test this? Okay. So right now, it's detecting that it's no longer hovered because it's deleting the UI. It's calling is hovered to false and push monotony 09. Current level name is none because nothing's being loaded. That's correct. This we set to off, which is a damn shame. But then it's saying, hey, I'm loaded. And it's like, hey, yo, my parent level is push 09. Let's set that to be hovered. Which it's then doing, yeah? Yeah. But then, then it's getting set to false again. Why? Why is it getting set to false again? Oh, because it's completed? Because it turned into an X. It's because I picked something that was completed. If I hadn't, like, let me remove the breakpoints. Because maybe that's okay. If I had picked one I hadn't completed. No, you're still gone. Why? I'm confused. Show me. Okay. Current level name is none. You're saying that you're hovered. Then level load is complete, which should say hovered again. So this is true. So this is going to be set to true. And then somehow, maybe the UI gets destroyed. I don't know. But you're being set to not hovered. Is that accurate? Yes. On push monotony 10. Level index 11. Fuck. Got it. Same problem I had before. The current level name, I need to get the parent. Every damn time. It's a combo level. Okay, I removed all breakpoints. I'm very excited. This is definitely gonna work. I'm gonna click this and that red circle is gonna be there. Booyah. That's right. And then X is here, then circle's here. Okay, well, fuck. What do we do now? Because that part was working. Did we not? It's at a breakpoint. What is this one? I think this one's pretty easy, right? You just... yeah. Oh, shit. Right. Anyway, breakpoint exists. So when you beat this one, we're calling this level is 1. You just want push monotony 11. Damn it. Set level this. Alright. Yeah, That should work. Huh, fascinating, and yet it does not. Why? Level complete is still working. I bet level hovered isn't, and that's overwriting it in the material. I bet. Fuck. Because it's still technically the current level. Okay, I see the problem. Ah, damn it. Okay, so it's not unhovering because it detects it's still the current level. So it unloads the level. A new plan. We don't do this here. Yes, you take this, promote this to a variable. Currently circled level. When circling a level, set the currently circled level to not circled. We must also have the level index. Promote to variable. Currently circled level index. This is not something we will ever be building upon. This is a one-off thing for this one stage. I'm not going to feel bad about how shitty it is, so... we'll just store those as variables. That's simple. Okay. It should work, yet it does not. Yeah. My life. Alright. So I think we just did this level. This goes here. Alright. This one's gonna X out and that one's gonna circle. Bam. Done. Accomplished the goal. Ship it soon. God, I'm not ready to ship it. William Chair, I'm not ready to ship it, man. I'm not ready, man. Oh, God. I think we're launching in very similar times. I think I'm too tired to feel feelings right now. Otherwise, I'd be pretty fucking scared. I still have so much more to do. I think he took off. Alright, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go start scheming about what I'm gonna do for dinner. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you guys do check out Manifold Garden. He's been working really hard on that. I'm excited. Yeah. I don't know if I give you tips or encouragement, Michael. I think I was just kind of like, oh, good luck. Good luck, man. It's rough. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, bye.